In this video I'm going to showcase what to expect of New World and Lost Ark respectively. I've made two very extensive feedback reports about New World on Reddit before. If you want to go through them beforehand, I'll link everything below. I also extensively tested the preview event, alpha, and the recent beta of New World, including reaching max level and exploring most currently available endgame content of Amazon's first MMO. I also play Lost Ark on and off since its release in Russia almost 2 years ago, and I've recently reached top 100 rated in its ranked PvP mode. I'll try my best to summarize both games in 5 minutes. New World. First, seamless open world and the emphasis on content relevant to the open world, including faction-based open world PvP, which is opt-in, open world resources like trees, iron, etc. that disappear once harvested. Second, limited instance content in the form of dungeons, territory wars, a battleground, and PvE invasions. So again, more emphasis on open world, less emphasis on instance stuff, but there is some as well. Outside of a very loose main quest line, the game allows you to level in whichever way you want. I want to mention professions here as well, as in my opinion, New World professions are one of the biggest selling points of the game, and allow you to pursue becoming a full-blown crafter from the get-go. New World also has a classless progression system that allows you to level up the weapons themselves. Normal level up grants you attribute points that do play a pretty big role in deciding which weapon to choose. Many compare New World's action combat system to that of Dark Souls. You can wield 2 weapons with 3 abilities each. This may sound low because it is, but it does a good job at making you engage in the combat with normal, heavy attacks, plus actual FPS-esque aiming for ranged weapons. And yes, tanking and healing does exist in New World as well. Endgame content is heavily focused on beating max level dungeon bosses, open world field bosses or group elites, crafting the best gear, and a heavy focus on PvP. Territory wars will have a major impact on the management of certain towns, settlements, and allow limited amount of guilds to rule the world. Although it has to be said on top of that you can join these territory wars earlier than max level as well. Although I would still consider them endgame content. Also, one quick side note, there's also PvP scaling in place for New World, which a lot of people will like and a lot of people won't. But generally speaking, since the PvP is also opt-in, the level scaling allows for basically anyone to participate at any level if you're casual or if you're hardcore. And lastly, a very limited cash up that they may expand on further down the line, but for now, there's absolutely zero pay to win. Lost Ark. In many ways, Lost Ark does things the opposite way of New World, so let's take a look at what that means. The world is mostly zone town-based, and there's fairly limited amount of open world relevant content. There are things like open world bosses, world completion stuff, island quest lines, and more. Generally speaking though, most of Lost Ark's relevant systems are instanced. Lost Ark has a fairly traditional theme park MMO leveling experience, a solid storyline with voice acting, cutscenes, and great visuals that lead you through the continents and teach you the basic lore of the world. The game also uses soft cap, hard cap leveling experience, in which after you reach level 50, the endgame content opens up, but you can keep leveling further until the current hard cap in Korea and Russia, which is level 60. You get to choose between 15 classes on our release, which you cannot change at all once you pick, unless you level a new character, of course. So let's talk about the long-term endgame progression systems in the form of gear upgrading, which does have RNG to it, daily dungeon runs and quests, Monster Hunter-esque Guardian raid bosses, Abyss raids, a single-player tower progression mode, which isn't infinite, life skills with an energy system, and later on Legion Commander raids, which I would describe as one of the best MMORPG raid content currently available. And that's just to name some of the things you can do. Let's address the elephant in the room, the cash shop. Lost Ark's cash shop allows you to buy most progression related items through converting cash shop currency into in-game currency. This leads to pay to win in the form of being able to progress your gear way faster than non-paying players. But, and this is very important, before you write this game off immediately, not only is there a reachable limit to how much gear you can have on each individual patch, but also all of the endgame content is very much skill based. So the main bottleneck after reaching the item level thresholds won't be your gear. And on top of that, both the relevant match-made PvP and the highest difficulty of raid content called Hell Mode are completely gear balanced, meaning gear has no relevance over your performance. TLDR, yes, Lost Ark does have pay to win, but it's a lot less impactful than basically any other MMORPG that allows for pay to win. If your main goal is to rank up in PvP, then Lost Ark's cash up is completely irrelevant to you. I hope I could represent both games well in the short time we had. New World and Lost Ark have very different concepts, but I do believe both include high quality systems but appeal to different audiences. New World will appeal to the more sandbox and open world type of player, and Lost Ark will appeal to people in love with competitive high-end raiding and instanced PvP. I for one will play the shit out of both of these games, so keep an eye out for that. If you enjoyed this short video, please let me know. I've planned plenty of content for both of the games, most of which will happen on Twitch. I hope I see you there soon.